Bonji Vakorja. Hi everyone, Eimear Burke here. Welcome to another Fireside Chat. And this is Fireside Chat 164, where I'm in conversation with a member of the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. And as is customary, I begin with a prayer for peace. Gamara Shiakon ar fud na crinne. Gamara Shiakon in our Jaili agus in our Jirha. Gunairi lin ar cuid garmacha. Gamid buichas jeev, jehe chuvdaka is spirit chuvdaka. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in our homes and in our countries. May our missions be accomplished. We thank you, guardian spirits and guardian deities. For peace. As the fever of day calms towards twilight, may all that is strained in us come to ease. We pray for all who suffered violence today. May an unexpected serenity surprise them. For those who risk their lives each day for peace, may their hearts glimpse providence at the heart of history. That those who make riches from violence and war might hear in their dreams the cries of the lost. That we might see through our fear of each other a new vision to heal our fatal attraction to aggression. That those who enjoy the privilege of peace might not forget their tormented brothers and sisters. That the wolf might lie down with the lamb, that our swords be beaten into ploughshares, and no hurt or harm be done anywhere along the Holy Mountain, with thanks to John O'Donoghue. So you're all very, very welcome. And it is a very wet, dull, dreary, miserable November evening in Ireland. Other than that, fine, grateful to be alive. So who have we got? There's Liz from Wyoming, Austria, Sherwood Forest, cold Pacific Northwest USA, Devon, Cork, windy London, wet and windy London. Yes, I just shouldn't surprise me. Denmark, where else? Where are people from? That's it. Ontario. Okay. Anyway, you're all very, very welcome. It's December, Julia. I know it is. Windy Auckland. Yes. I don't mind cold, dry. It's wet, damp. Typical Irish weather, which kind of goes through you. Bunclody, Jonathan loves this wet, windy weather. Tumultuous New South Wales, lovely. New Forest on a wet, windy night. In the middle of big earthquakes right now in coastal California. Ow, okay, I shouldn't be complaining, and I won't. Yes, so very rainy Netherlands. Okay, and wet and windy Hampshire. Okay, so we are going to Germany this evening, and let me introduce you to my guest this evening. This is Tina Weiss. Tina, you are so welcome to this chat.
Hi, and thanks for having me.
So, where are you in Germany?
I'm near Heidelberg, so in the southwest of Germany.
And your weather is?
It was snowing earlier this evening, so it's cold, but no longer wet.
Okay. So tell me, I have never been to Heidelberg. I've been to a few places in Germany, but never. Was that the former East Germany?
No, it's in the southwest of Germany.
Southwest of Germany.
Yeah.
Were there composers from Heidelberg?
Sorry?
Were there famous composers from Heidelberg?
Oh, actually, I'm not aware.
Okay, it's in my head. I don't know why. Anyway, just tell us, what is Heidelberg like and your landscape?
Well, so Heidelberg is located near the river Neckar.
Neckar.
And Neckar. And it's there is a hill, and on top of the hill there is the famous castle of Heidelberg. And that's what the area is like. So there are a lot of hills. I'm located at the Bergstraße, so we have valleys and hills, and I live on a hill. Yes, so it's very nice. We've got woods. I live at the edge of the woods, and we've got some rivers nearby and streams.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And Nimi wants to know, did the snow settle? Have you got snow on the ground?
No, unfortunately, it didn't settle.
I hate when it teases like that. It's nice to have it. And Finn says he was born in Heidelberg. Okay.
Oh, nice. Me
To
too.
live in Neckarhausen? Husen? That's what he said.
No, but near there. Yes,
Okay. Brilliant. Yes, and Cliff says a beautiful romantic city with the Schloss and, of course, lovely wine.
that's right.
Very nice. So, do you have a grove or a seed group where you are?
I do. I founded a seed group with some of my friends some years ago, and we're called Bridget's Licht, so the light of Bridget.
Oh, lovely.
And yes,
Very, very nice. So, just tell us a little bit about your background, because I mean, I'm just looking at the background behind you. We'll come to that. It's like you're in a music shop.
but it's actually my living room.
It's your living room. And just so our viewers will know that we're in for a big, big treat, that Tina is an amazing musician, singer, and composer. And she will be playing at the summer gathering at Glastonbury in June. In the meantime, so your background, how did you find your way into Druidry and into Obod?
I think I've always been into Druidry. So when I was a child, I can remember that I was talking to imaginary beings.
Uh-huh.
And as adults tend to do, or tended to do back then, I was forbidden to talk to myself. And I stopped communicating with beings. I tried really, really hard to get into Christianity when I was a teenager, because I was longing for this community. And because of music, I had, I sang in different choirs and also in church choirs.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the community, but it just didn't feel right for me. And I can remember that at some point, when I was in such a small church cycle, which was from school back then, another being came to me, and she was female, and she took me by her hand and said, "That's not the right way for you. You need to come with me." And now I know that it was Bridget. So I'm very close to her, and she's very close to me. And that's when I started to be interested in all stuff spiritual.
And so what path did you follow before you discovered Druidry? Or did you have or were you a particular path?
I didn't really. I knew some people who had books, and I read some books about different things, but I didn't have a path back then.
And then how did you find Obod?
That's a funny story. So I'm a role play gamer, and I'm a LARPer, so I do role play live. Mm-hmm. And my main character has always been a bard. And so I had my first boyfriend, and he was 8 years older than me, and he had this wondrous thing called the internet. And he found the Obod's website, so the very first website there was, and he showed it to me and said, "Look, that's something for you." And I read the website, and it was fascinating, and I knew at some point of my life I want to join Obod. And then it took some more years, because I was a student back then, and I couldn't afford it right away. But when I had my first job as a teaching assistant in Ireland, I joined Obod.
Oh, you were in Ireland?
I was.
Wow. I'm really interested. So where were you in Ireland?
I was in Ballybrigeen, so Balbriggan, north of Dublin.
And you even said the Irish form of it.
Yes.
Wow, I am impressed. How long were you in Ballybrigine for?
It was about a year.
And why did you go as a teaching assistant to Ireland and not do it in Germany? Oh, it's
um,
fascinating to do things like this.
I studied English literature and English linguistics to become a
Hmm.
teacher. So I'm an English teacher, and they advised us to go to an English-speaking country for a year, and
Okay.
I did not have to think long about where I wanted to go. So I chose Ireland, and there I went.
So why Ireland over England? Because the English is different. There's the Hiberno English and the English. What was the hook or the call to come to
Not
Ireland?
because of the language, but because of I've always been interested in everything Celtic,
Hmm.
and at this point, I had started learning Gaeilge, Irish Gaelic, and yes,
Wow.
that's why I wanted to go to Ireland.
So, and did you learn more of it?
Yes, a bit. Yeah.
Okay. And are you still studying it?
Yes. Nowadays with Duolingo, so
Very good. Well,
I
that's good.
learn funny phrases like um, "taban ac sa chwisnor." So the woman is in the fridge. So very useful phrases. But
Excellent.
yeah, I'll still keep studying Irish.
Oh, well done. Impressive, impressive. Ruth here says Mahan Colleen. I assume you know what that means. Ma on
Yeah, yeah,
Colleen.
yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And Nimi's learning it too. Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So you started studying the Gwers while you're in Ireland. That is amazing.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. So where would you say, of all the places in Ireland that you've been, what's the place that stands out best for you or resonates the strongest with you?
Mm, that's a good question. So there were several places. I had never been to the sea before. So, and then I
Okay.
lived directly at the seashore for the first few months. Um, but the sea was still very close all the time I lived there. So that was very impressive. And I connected very much to the element of water, basically.
Mm.
Um, but there was also, I can't remember it right now, but it's a little forest and a little national park south of Dublin. Something with W. I can't remember it right now,
In
unfortunately.
Wicklow?
Yes, yeah. Not I can't remember it, to be honest. But there were waterfalls and there were trees, and where I lived, there weren't hardly any trees. So I had island and trees and waterfalls and the magic of the land, and it was just fascinating.
Wow, wow. That's really, really impressive. So how would you say, when I don't know how long it is you're in the order, but how how is it was it Powers Court by the chance? Robert is suggesting that because that is in Wicklow and there are trees and there are waterfalls.
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Okay,
It was
beautiful.
like being in a fairy tale. It was, yeah, it was marvelous.
Wonderful, wonderful. Did you visit any, just before did you visit any, major sites like Newgrange and Tara and those places?
Yes. That was also very impressive. I lived near, well, it was just an hour to Newgrange, so I was there several times during my stay in Ireland. And yeah, it was very impressive. But I also went to Nouth and Dowth,
Hmm.
so the other sites, and I can't remember which one it was, but one of them, um, I don't know why. Maybe because there are not as many people as in Newgrange itself, but it resonated even more with me.
Yeah, I think these places have different resonance for different people. It's like you don't resonate with everybody you meet, or
Yeah.
pieces of music, and they don't have the same level of resonance for all of us. So often those smaller places can really touch one in a really deep way. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's my next one. How would you say Druidry has helped you in your life? Like, how do you live it? What does it do for you?
Oh, I think it does a lot. Well, I was in the Bardic grade for 12 years. And many people say that the Bardic grade is the easiest grade, or that they went through it in a year and everything was fine. But, well, it was, it is the journey to yourself. And I wasn't myself back then. So I had a long way to travel. And I think Druidry helped me, or the Bardic course helped me to come into my potential. I'm not sure if I'm at my full potential now, but it definitely helped me to become more myself than I was back then.
12 years. It took me 6, and it's really, I don't think it's the easiest grade, and I don't know what the easiest grade is. Each one has their own easiest, if anyone has an easiest one. But I suppose you get the challenges you need in wherever you need the challenges, and because you certainly are an amazing bard. So it perhaps takes time to ripen and to incubate and to grow things and mature things. And so we're going to be hearing you wonderful bard experiencing your bardic skills and talents in a few moments. So that is, that is beautiful. I just want to get back to your LARPing. How, you play the role of the bard as a LARPer.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we have some images you'd like to show. So is your LARPer a particular bard, or it's just the archetype of a bard that you're and what kind of, are you acting out historical episodes, or what is it you do as a LARPer?
No, it's basically it's fantastical theater. So it's a bit like the Lord of the Rings that you're acting out. So there are elves, there are orcs, and other beings, and there is a dungeon master or a team of dungeon masters who basically tell a story by non-player characters. So there are people who play certain roles for the player characters to create the story, and the players have to react and often solve puzzles and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show some photographs, some images. So tell us about this one.
So the first few pictures are of my main character. She's called Bellaria, and she's a master bard. So she makes music, and but she also, there are some pictures later. She does magic in the game.
Oh, okay. Tell me when to move on to the next one.
You can move on. So that's another picture of her with my lute. Can move on.
Okay.
That's in a tavern, and that's always a nice atmosphere. So people coming together, making music, having fun with a lot of candles and so on. So I really enjoy that.
So you're actually playing in candlelight. There's no other light.
Yeah. No.
Wow. Impressive. You're obviously good enough to play not being able to see.
Well, my eyes are good enough, or my contact lenses are strong enough.
I need to be well lit to play the harp, so I'm always impressed when people can play in dim light.
Yeah. So that's another picture of a tavern situation.
Beautiful.
With dear friends of mine. Yeah, and that was a ritual. So sometimes there are rituals in LARP. In this case, this was a kind of not examination. But she became a master of elementary magic in the game on this evening. because she combines music and the elements to do magic in the game.
Wow, and that's your character.
Well, in the middle, there's my character, and there are friends around me because they symbolize the other elements, and I was something like the fifth element, which is for her not ether or spirit, but music.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, and that's her preparing for the ritual. It's the same evening.
Mm.
And that's the most recent picture I got. So some things have changed, but not everything. So she's still, Bellaria, basically.
Beautiful.
I also play other characters sometimes. So that's a tavern maiden, and her name is Yolante. And she's a priestess, but she doesn't know yet.
Okay. And is that a shield you're holding, or what is it?
It's a pan.
Okay.
And in lab, we've got weapons made out of, I don't know, well, out of a soft material. So if we hit each other, we don't hurt each other.
Okay.
And the pan is made out of this material.
So it's not metal?
No, it just looks like it.
It does look like it. Okay.
Yeah. And I was an NPC then. My player character died this convention. And then I, switched sides and went to the NPCs.
What's the NPC?
Oh, a non-player character. So these are the people who help the dungeon masters create the story, basically.
Okay, okay. Are you narrating, or are you just coming up with ideas, or what are you doing?
Yes. Well, no, they're not narrating usually, but they send non-player characters who give the players pieces of the story, and they need to react to the non-player characters.
Okay, okay. Somebody says music is the fifth element. Well, then I'm taking that in, and that is beautiful. That notion of music as a fifth element, it's quite magical indeed. So that's your.
And that's my group. Exactly.
So is that you playing your music on
Yes.
YouTube? Okay,
Yes.
just let's people pay attention to that. Maybe I'll just put it into the. So what does Solan at sea mean?
Solanacea is a play on words. Solanacea is the Latin term for, I don't know the English correct term, but for plants that grow in the dark or
That's
at night.
Solanatsea is that word. Okay.
Yeah, and the TSEA in the end, that used to be my initials. Now I have another last name, but it used to be my initials. So
Wow.
I'm a person that grows in the night because I'm a night owl. So I like that pun on words, play on words.
Oh, that is just beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm fascinated with that. So you're a knitter.
I do knit, yes.
So what do you knit? Do you knit your costumes, or?
No, well, I sew some of my things, mostly with the help of a friend who's a professional seamstress. And yes, but I also knit. But I don't have that much time being a single parent working full time. So there's not much time left. So I mainly knit socks and such.
Okay, okay. So I think Robert says music touches the heart in a magical way, and it touches the heart in a magical way, and it touches the ear in a magical way. All of those words contained in the word heart. Would you like to play us something?
Yes, gladly. I thought since the solstice is approaching fast, I'm going to play my solstice song, because when I was in the bardic grade, I wrote a song for each of the celebrations of the Wheel of the Year. And so, yes, the solstice is the one next. I just need a moment to prepare my guitar. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah.
And I need to put my hair out of the way. Sorry for that. Okay, here we go. So my songs are in German. I hope something of the message comes across anyways.
You convey it in your singing.
It's called Midwinter. Dunkelste Tage und immer schwächer wird das Licht. Klirrende Kälte, kein Vogelsang die Stille bricht. Kahl alle Bäume, im tiefen Schlaf liegt nun die Welt. Von Tod, von Mitternacht, von Winter diese Zeit erzählt. Doch inmitten der Nacht wird das Licht neu geboren. In dunkelster Nacht finden wir Zuversicht. Die dunkelste Nacht, in der alles schien verloren, schenkt uns neues Leben und Licht. Wärme und Lichterschein, wir zünden an ein Kerzenmeer. Lieder, Geschichten erfreuen unsere Herzen sehr. Mistel und Tannenzweig, das Hoffnungsgrün der Ewigkeit. Freunde, Familie, wir finden füreinander Zeit. Denn inmitten der Nacht wird das Licht neu geboren. In dunkelster Nacht finden wir Zuversicht. Die dunkelste Nacht, in der alles schien verloren, schenkt uns neues Leben und Licht. Innere Dunkelheit, kehr in dich, schau in dich hinein. In stiller Tiefe, da glimmt auch deiner Seele Schein. Lass los und öffne dich für alles, das dir vorbestimmt. Aus kleinstem Funken erwächst ein strahlend Sonnenkind. Denn inmitten der Nacht wird das Licht neu geboren. In dunkelster Nacht finden wir Zuversicht. Die dunkelste Nacht, in der alles schien verloren, schenkt uns neues Leben und Licht. Der Sieg der Dunkelheit bringt gleichsam ihren Untergang. Nun kehrt das Licht zurück, auf das wir warteten so lang. Stillstand für kurze Zeit und schon dreht weiter sich das Rad. Julzeit uns Hoffnung und Licht wiedergegeben hat. Denn inmitten der Nacht wird das Licht neu geboren. In dunkelster Nacht finden wir Zuversicht. Die dunkelste Nacht, in der alles schien verloren, schenkt uns neues Leben und Licht. Ja, inmitten der Nacht wird das Licht neu geboren. In dunkelster Nacht finden wir Zuversicht. Die dunkelste Nacht, in der alles schien verloren, schenkt uns neues Leben und Licht.
Wow. I was just so beautiful. I can't pronounce your name properly. Alfdis Ravne. So beautiful. I feel like translating it to Danish and using it for my celebration. Such a beautiful melody. This is from Julia. Recognize some words from school days. Lots of applause.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song. Thank you. It is incredible. Where do you get your imas or your inspiration or your awen for your songs and your music?
I think in life in general. Sometimes I want to write a song. So, for example, I wanted to write a song about Alban Elfed. That's where it started.
Okay.
And then later, I thought I could write a song for every celebration. But I started to write songs when I was about 12.
Wow.
And I don't know, it just seemed natural. And so I did. And yeah, there are many, many topics. Sometimes it's a phrase a friend says, and I have an idea for a song. Sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes it's, well, my life hasn't been easy those last years, and music is also a way to deal with my own darkness and put them into words so I can let them go.
Beautiful.
Because if I keep them inside of me, that's not it. Yeah, it's not good.
And so, I mean, this is, I suppose, harps back to the question: how does Druidry support you? So it's your your songwriting and the expression of what's inside through your words, but also through your music, is a way of releasing, letting go, and healing.
Definitely, yes. And also, I think the images I use in my lyrics, they are very druidic. And the topics are sometimes too. So I played a song, or I wrote a song that's basically me being connected to the other world. So some topics are druidic, but there are also mundane topics, like love songs or something, which have druidic imagery in them.
Okay, we're going to have a few more of those before we finish. However, what is I'm curious just to for you to share, if that's okay, your process. I mean, do you just, okay, I'm going to write a song, there's a phrase going around in your head, and you just sit down with your guitar and start strumming, or do you go for a walk by the river? Do you write music? How do you go? Do you set aside special time, or does the song hit you? and that can't be ignored? Or how does that happen?
There is no one way. So I've had songs hit me, or chants also hit me. I have a chant about the Awen, basically, and it just was in my head, and I had to stop doing what I was doing and write it down. But sometimes I have pieces of melodies inside my head, and for example, my song for Bridget, the chorus was in my head. It had been in my head for years before I actually finished the song, but it never felt right to finish the song. It just wanted to be birthed, basically, this Imolc, when I had my Ovate initiation, group initiation.
Wow. Would you play that for us?
My Bridget song? Yes, I can do that. Yeah. I also had songs where the lyrics were first, so it's not the one way. So it's really different for each song.
Which is easiest for you, to start with the melody and then find the lyrics, or start with the lyrics and then find the melody?
If I want to write a song about a certain topic, it's usually easiest if I sit down with my guitar.
Okay.
And it's it's kind of a linked process. So words and melody are created at the same time.
Okay.
So here's my song for Bridget. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Bridget, Bridget, schenke mir dein Licht, erfülle mich mit deinem Auen. Bridget, Bridget, wach über mich, schenk Heilung, schenk Lebenssamen. Göttin von Feuer und Herd, segne mein Haus und mein Leben. Hüterin der heiligen Flamme, leuchte auf all meinen Wegen. Göttin des Dichters, des Schmieds, du formst aus Wort Poesie. Funke der Inspiration, du schaffst aus Gedanken Magie. Bridget, Bridget, schenke mir dein Licht, erfülle mich mit deinem Auen. Bridget, Bridget, wach über mich, schenk Heilung, schenk Lebenssamen. Göttin von Wasser und Quelle, durchströme Körper und Land. Hüterin der heiligen Brunnen, heile mit sanfter Hand. Göttin der Kreativität, leite mich und meine Lieder. Hüterin des heiligen Kessels, erfülle mich wieder und wieder. Bridget, Bridget, schenke mir dein Licht, erfülle mich mit deinem Auen. Bridget, Bridget, wach über mich, schenk Heilung, schenk Lebenssamen. Göttin des Frühlingbeginns, schenk Hoffnung und Neubeginn. Hüterin der Schneeglöckchen weiß, schenke frischen Mut, neuen Sinn. Göttin der Hebammenkunst, schenke auch mir neues Leben. Hüterin von Lämmern und Schwan, denn Schutz sei mir stets gegeben. Bridget, Bridget, schenke mir dein Licht, erfülle mich mit deinem Auen. Bridget, Bridget, wach über mich, schenk Heilung, schenk Lebenssamen. Bridget, Bridget, schenke mir dein Licht, erfülle mich mit deinem Auen. Bridget, Bridget, wach über mich, schenk Heilung, schenk Lebenssamen. Schenk Heilung und Schutz in deinem Namen.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. Karen says, beautiful, clear voice. You are very talented, without a doubt. Julia says, humming along, so catchy, even if you don't know the words. And Vivian, and this is really interesting, a friend once told me that when you sing, you can't be afraid. Sometimes that's also true when you're listening. And I think, would you agree with that? When you're singing, you can't be afraid?
I can be really nervous. But if I let the nervousness show too much, then my voice will break. So But people tell me that, I seem really tough and so on. So the nervousness doesn't show usually.
Liz says, fellow devotee of Bridget here, you've captured her perfectly. Beautiful, Tina, bright blessings. Your love for Bridget shines out. Lovely. Absolutely. It was normally at this time we would say we'd be beginning to wind down and go over to the hearth, but for some reason there's some technical difficulties. I can't go live on the hearth this evening, so we'll stay on this platform for a little bit longer. Cliff says, another lovely song. My knowledge of German does come in useful. It's a beautiful language and song. It is. Dawn says, fantastic. There's something so universally familiar about that, even though I don't understand the language. Absolutely loved it. And absolutely beautiful. So when you think of, so you're a teacher, so aren't you?
Yes.
What ages are you teaching? Like, how old are your students?
Oh, I'm a teacher for German Gymnasium. I prepare them for university. So when they come to me, they are at the age of 10 or 11, and they stay with us for 9 years. So they are 18, 19, 20 when they leave school.
And what are you teaching?
English, mostly these days. But I can also teach German and music.
And okay, and I'm just looking at all your instruments. You've got what look like 3 guitars and 1 harp in the background, and you also play the lute. What other instruments do you play?
Well, the lute I've got, they are the same as a guitar. They just look like a lute, so it's called a guitar lute.
So that one of you in the LARPing picture, it's a guitar lute, not a lute.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I also have now I don't know if it's the right word, a mandolin here.
Yes, the mandolin.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Yes, I play the piano, and I have a violin, but I can play easy melodies, but I'm self-taught, so yeah.
Do you scratch and scream a lot on your violin? It's a less forgiving instrument, isn't it? The violin.
Yes.
It really requires more accuracy than. Now, I want to get back to your lute. So why is it a guitar lute? Is that just for LARPing that it looks like it and you still play the guitar?
Yes, basically.
Because my harp teacher is not a harper. He is a guitarist. And he plays a 13-string guitar, and he plays the lute music of Weiss. Is he any relation of yours? You know who I'm talking about? The composer of Weiss, who composed music for
I know
the
him.
lute. Are you related?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, because seemingly the lute is not a very stable instrument. So, Mark, my teacher, has a 13-string guitar, specially made. It looks like a very awkward looking thing to play Vice's loose music, and it is just incredible, just exquisitely beautiful. So I'm just intrigued with you that looking like a lute, but it isn't. So, are you playing lute music on that lute guitar?
I used to play lute music on my regular guitar, so one of the ones with nylon strings in the back.
Yes.
And but usually when I play or when I do LARP, I don't play things like that.
Okay. So, what do you play?
Songs mainly.
Like, are these kind of traditional songs, or are these your own songs?
When I started, there were not many LARP songs. Nowadays, many people have written songs, and we play those, and also songs composed by the Scouts.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of German songs because most people like or prefer German songs to be played.
Okay. So,
And
go on.
I myself have written songs for LARP especially as well. But as I said, I have many friends who are bards too, and I play their songs as well.
So, when you're LARPing, are you LARPing in a particular era? I know you're dressed like a particular era. Or is it you're dressing up in the nice costumes and the linens and the wools and things like that, but it can be from any era or a mythical era or some magical time? Is that what you're playing? Or do you say, okay, it's back in medieval times?
No, there would be reenactment, and most LARPers are not authentic in their clothing. So
Okay.
most of us do focus on cotton and linen and so on. So the fabric is not modern
Yeah.
usually, but with the styles, everyone's free to wear whatever they like.
Okay, so then your music can be from any era. It doesn't have to mimic a particular era then.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't be too modern. So
Okay.
the
So it's not rock
lyrics
and roll
are
and
like,
it's not heavy metal.
pardon?
It's not rock and roll and it's not heavy metal.
No. No, it isn't.
So when you think of your Druidry and the world, and you're a teacher and you're a mother, you've got 2 young children, what concerns you about the modern world?
I think the modern world has been losing a sense of community. So when people were Christian, they learned about loving each other and being a community, and I think that people have been losing this.
Mm-hmm.
And there is everyone only wants their best, and we see that also at school, so that children are no longer working as a team. So we try to teach that, of course, but if we are the only place where they are taught that, it's difficult. That's one thing, and also the connection with nature, because many children are no longer familiar with the natural world, and I think that's a huge problem.
And so what gives you hope for the world, or can you see a remedy for this?
I think it's important that we don't give up, and I'm just a single person, but of course my Druidry influences my teaching, and we teach things like environment also in English class.
Mm-hmm.
and globalization and what we can do to prevent climate change and such. And I might have insights they are not used to. I might give them new impulses.
Mm-hmm.
And also with my children. So my children have a good connection to nature. They were in a forest kindergarten when they were little.
Lovely.
And we, as I said, we live at the edge of the woods, so they're still really connected to nature. And also they carry this further and give this knowledge to their friends, for example. So when they visit us, they go out into the woods and play there. And so I think that's the best I can do. And also, well, with my music has Druidry in it. And I know that people who are not Druids listen to my music as well. So
Okay.
I can only hope that, well, my message, is conveyed.
Yeah, I suppose music is a great medium for passing on messages or introducing ideas, and we can't beat people over the head with ideas, but somehow that beautiful way of, because you have an absolutely magical voice and a magical way with which you connect with your audience, which is just so beautiful. Gunter Nall is here, and he says, "But Tina, you like Irish songs, I know. Do you have any Irish songs?"
As Gaelga,
Either way, Asperla or Gaeilge, it doesn't matter.
I do, but I need to open a different document for that. I'm not
Right.
prepared.
Sorry, you can blame Gunter for that, not me.
Yes, thank you, Günther.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah. So here it is. Well, the document is open. Now I need to find the song.
And is this Oscailge?
Yeah, but it's the wrong document, I'm afraid. Oh no. As I said, I'm not
We're
prepared.
fine. We're very patient here. We can.
Okay.
Vivian says, "Go, go, go!"
No.
So she's welcome. I'm sure she's delighted with
I can do this. For starters, it should be in here. Okay. I have several songbooks. With songs I collected, so I need to find the right one.
Okay.
My computer is struggling with all the things it needs to do at once. No, here we go. It's only a matter of hours. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
I could just search for it. That would be too easy. Okay, found the page number. I haven't practiced it in a while, so I hope I can still play it. But yes, thank you, Günther. Oroshiduvahawalya, 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 Nish Erhachtantori. Shade van balenva by gracht of yevin the yeshirai yiskel merlas the delta lesna yole O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia Nish Hachtan Tauri Granuel, Achtar Solja, Oglierma, Leimar Hardja, Gelget Hein is Nigal, Espani, Scorishad, Roikariole, O Roshidavahawalia. O Roshidavahawalia, O Roshidavahawalia, Nish Hachtan Tauri. Wheelerin vako veken moramim bjoina yeach shechten Granuel agus mile gas kjachik fagart fanar yole O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia Nish Hachtan Tauri O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia O Roshidavahawalia Nish Hachtan Tauri
Wow, I'm gobsmacked. I have never heard such a beautiful version of that song in my life.
Thank you very much.
And Sean Clancy, who is a guide at Ishnock, that was so fantastic. Listening while putting my kids to bed and they're singing along, only here instead of Anish and it's the chickens wearing trousers. But beautiful. It's a beautiful version, incredible, sacred, worth the wait. This Tina is a natural, fantastic. I feel like I'm in ancient Ireland. That was just lovely. You have, I talk about a golden voice. It's and Robert says, I wish I'd listened to my Irish teacher when I was in school in Dublin. Beautiful singing, thank you. And Anita from Wexford, fabulous. So you're getting a lot of beautiful reactions from Irish viewers today. Just beautiful.
Thank you very much.
That's just incredible, incredible. I was going to ask you a question, but I think maybe this is it. What has been your greatest achievement? Because you're constantly in terms of your beautiful voice and your musical compositions. But what challenge have you overcome that you're most proud of?
Yeah. I used to be very insecure. And I needed to check with other people to feel secure and to feel right and loved and have the confirmation that what I'm doing is the right thing. And I no longer do that. So I definitely feel more secure and more powerful. And yeah, I think that's a great achievement.
Absolutely. So what is it that brought you to this place now where you no longer need to depend on the affirmation of others? So how did you get here? I always find those
Mhm.
kind of journeys really fascinating.
Yeah, it wasn't kind. It wasn't a good process. So I think so as I said, I'm a single parent. So I was married, but I no longer am married. And before we separated, my former husband had not been there, only physically. So I needed to learn to decide for myself and be strong for me and my children. I didn't really have another choice. But in this process, I realized that I had made the decisions and I had been strong, but I wasn't feeling it. I always asked someone else. So this realization that I had been doing this for a while and I am strong and I am, yeah, I can be on my own. That was, well, a hard one, but I think it was necessary.
I don't think any of us learns if there isn't some adversity or something, something to some friction to rub against. And it's really interesting how sometimes our mind takes a long time, or our awareness takes longer to catch up with what we're actually doing. You know, like you're saying, you were making decisions. You were okay with an absent partner. You were doing the things anyway. It just takes for the rest of you to catch up with. Actually, I'm doing this. I can do it.
Yeah.
It would be lovely to do it with somebody. It would be lovely to, but in the circumstances you don't have. So what do? You just get on with it and you do it. And I think it's a wonderful discovery to make about oneself that actually I can. I'm actually doing it. I don't even. Why am I always checking with other people when I've been doing this anyway? And you know, Doc, the Kiwi says there's other choices. Thank you for making the strong choice. Gunter says you're touching hearts, and I think yeah, none of us sails through life easily, and I think the best lessons are the tough ones. I wish there were easier ways, but they're not. Somehow it's
Yeah.
because if it's easy, you've never learned anything about yourself. It's only through that friction. It's like the fungus or the alga that's stuck in the oyster that just and then creates that pearl. It's painful, but then look what comes out in the end. Um, Sean has a question. Do you find your connection to Bridget helped with the overcoming your troubles? They do say she helps us in the crucible. Through the fire, we are forged stronger.
Definitely, because I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I often feel under her guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Bridget statue here in this room, and I have a candle which is connected to these Bridget candles. Um, yeah, and I light a candle quite often in dark times,
Mm-hmm.
and I pray to her and I ask her to guide me, and so definitely she helped me get through that time.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what would you say if you were giving advice to somebody now based on your own adversity, your own challenges, and somebody is based on your own experience or your insights? What would you like to share with people?
That there is always a new day after a night, and that's a picture I use oftentimes. So I used to have a lot of dark days, but there is light in the dark. So for example, there are stars, and I
Mhm.
wrote a song about that, stars in the night, dedicated to my friends who helped me through that. So there is always a bit of light there. Don't give up, hang in there, and look for the stars in the night.
Could you sing that song?
I could, yes.
It's very careful what
Maybe
you say because you'll end up singing it, okay?
Well, there are many things, or oftentimes I can say, oh, I wrote a song about that. So
One for every situation. I am most impressed.
well, not for every situation, but for many of them, yes. And if I haven't written a song myself, I know a song about it.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
Yeah, one of my colleagues teases me with that. So it's called Sterne in der Nacht, so Stars in the Night. Sturmeszeiten, voll Frust, voll Wut, voll Leid. Denn das Leben hält nicht nur Sonnenschein bereit. Und doch gibt es hoch oben an dem Himmelszelt die Erinnerung, ich bin nicht allein auf dieser Welt. Es gibt Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Ihr erhellt mein Leben mit eurem Licht. Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Und ist es noch so dunkel, seid ihr da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich. Familie, Freunde, in peace and love and heart to heart. Nehmt ihr mich an und bin ich noch so sehr verzagt. Ihr erinnert mich, wer ich bin, was Leben heißt und leuchtet mir den Weg durch meine Dunkelheit. Ihr seid Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Ihr erhellt mein Leben mit eurem Licht. Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Und ist es noch so dunkel, seid ihr da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich. Mit Worten, Gesten, mit Rat und Tat steht ihr zur Seite. Voll Wärme, Liebe, voll Anteilnahme, Herzlichkeit. Ihr schickt mir Kraft, ihr spendet Trost, ihr spendet Mut. Ihr Herzensmenschen, euch zu kennen, tut so gut. Ihr seid Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Ihr erhellt mein Leben mit eurem Licht. Sterne in der Nacht, Sterne in der Nacht. Und ist es noch so dunkel, seid ihr da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich. Ich danke euch für alles, ja für jede Kleinigkeit. Ich danke euch für die Geduld und Zeit. Ich danke euch, dass ihr mir zeigt, dass es noch Hoffnung gibt. Ich sag Dank aus tiefstem Herzen mit diesem Lied. Denn ihr seid Sterne in der Nacht. Sterne in der Nacht. Ihr erhellt mein Leben mit eurem Licht. Sterne in der Nacht. Sterne in der Nacht. Und ist es noch so dunkel, seid ihr da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich. Ihr seid ein Geschenk der Götter, ihr seid da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich. Ihr seid da und liebt mich und dafür danke ich.
Oh, so beautiful. Gloria says, Ser Sean, I don't know if that's proper. You remind me of what it means to live and light the way through my darkness.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Dave says, I would love to see Tina do a duet with Dave the Bard. Someone said, yeah, great. Spellbinding. Have you ever played the Taggle Harpa? That's from Tracy. It's on her list of aspirations. I don't know
No. Yeah, I know the instrument, but I haven't, no.
what kind of an instrument is it?
I think it's well, there is a bow, and I'm not sure if there are several harpas. I don't know if I'm mixing them up, but I think there is a bow, and some of them are similar to a hurdy-gurdy.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's that way, but well, you can either like do this or work with the bow, but there are keys like for the piano and most of them instruments. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that's an instrument family I haven't played yet. So
Yet,
there are
I love
things
that.
Yeah, that's right.
What a torch song. Powerful and tender. Fantastic. That's just beautiful. Spellbinding. Just absolutely. Oh, Tracy says it's 4-string upright in the lap, like a lyre. No keys. Very haunting.
Okay. So I have mixed it up, but no, I haven't played it.
Wow. Okay. Well, Tracy, let us know when you're ready to say publicly. You can get your first gig on a chat. That sounds wonderful. Absolutely. Just beautiful, beautiful. Now you Ruth has found you on YouTube. That's very good. Because we met at the Mount Thunder camp in Germany during the summer. And well, I mean, I've heard you before, but you played a song that made me cry. What song was that?
That was my Bridget song.
Oh, that was the Bridget one. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't cry this time. It's beautiful still. Maybe it's the first hearing or whatever it was. It just really, really, really touched me. So I just think it's been such a lovely conversation, listening to your music. It's almost like we've not done much chatting. However, I think there's a huge amount that is communicated to through your voice, through your songs, through your singing. It's just incredible. Just so beautiful. Do you have another song that we will finish with?
I have a lot of songs. I need to decide which one.
Choice.
Yeah, that's the problem. Maybe on a light note. I don't know. Oh well, yes. Okay, I have one I wrote when I worked with fire, and I have one when I wrote when I worked with air. That's the light one. So it's about different birds and me wanting to feel like on their wings. Or the fire one, which is a song of empowerment for me and others. So I'm undecided. Do you have a preference?
Go for empowerment.
Okay. So the title is There is a fire burning in you too.
Lovely.
Kummer und Sorge, Enttäuschung und mehr verdunkeln das Leben dir zu oft und zu sehr. Selbstzweifel nagen an Selbstbild und Kraft, dadurch gibst du der Dunkelheit Macht. Wenn dein Leben grad dunkel erscheint, dann blicke tief in deine Nacht hinein. Entdecke die Sterne, den Mond, der Nachtlicht und dann erinnere dich. Auch in dir brennt ein Feuer, auch in dir wohnt ein Licht. Das helle ist erstrahlen, verstecke es nicht. Habe Mut, du bist gut, so wie du bist. Es lodert ein Feuer tief in deinem Sein. Die Sonne der Seele spür in dich hinein. Sie ist ein Teil von dir, fürchte sie nicht. Deine Kraft, deine Freude, dein Licht. Das Feuer schenkt Leidenschaft, Inspiration. Schenkt Wärme, schenkt Klarheit, schenkt Transformation. Und wenn der Wandel auch manchmal bringt Leid, so wächst du an ihm mit der Zeit. Auch in dir brennt ein Feuer, auch in dir wohnt ein Licht. Das helle ist erstrahlen, verstecke es nicht. Habe Mut, du bist gut, so wie du bist. Dich deinem Feuer hin wie nie zuvor und steig wie ein Phönix aus der Asche empor. Du bist ein Wesen aus Sonne, aus Licht, lass es zu und dimm dein Licht nicht. Denn in dir brennt ein Feuer, in dir wohnt ein Licht. Das helle ist erstrahlen, verstecke es nicht. Habe Mut, du bist gut, so wie du bist. Ja, in dir brennt ein Feuer, in dir wohnt ein Licht. Das helle ist erstrahlen, verstecke dich nicht. Habe Mut, du bist gut, so wie du bist. Du bist gut, so wie du bist.
Oh, that is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Somebody asked to leave a link for your YouTube. Did I put that in earlier? I thought I did. I did, yes. It's youtube.com/Solancia. It's there. It's in the chat. You'll find it if you just go further. You'll see it. It's on Facebook. You'll find it on the Facebook. It's in all of the YouTube channels and the Facebook channel. That is so beautiful. Exquisiteness. Wow, I feel ready to take on the whole world now. Loved your work in Touchstone. Did you put something into Touchstone, Tina?
I think there was one poem that was in Touchstone.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, it was noticed. Wonderful music. Great energy raiser, that song. Great for the Grove. Absolutely beautiful. Tina, it's been such a pleasure, such a blessing to listen to you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I look forward to meeting you again in real at the summer gathering. So any of you who can come to the summer gathering, you'll get to hear Tina at the Eistedd Fod, and that'll be really, really lovely. What a treat. So I will let you say goodbye to everybody. Good night, or I'll let you say good night to people.
Okay. So, mit dem Segen der Wintersonnenwende verabschiede ich mich, and I wish all of you a blessed winter solstice and Bianachti a charge.
Oh, Mahu! I thought the Cuid Gaeilge go Hinto. And Anita says, Tina, you are a beautiful, inspiring bard. So wonderful evening of music. So I'll see you in a minute. I'll just send you back into the green room. And yes, you're a true bard. So many comments about you being a true bard, without a doubt. Undoubter be. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And sorry about not being able to get onto the hearth, but anyway, technology, it does let us down from time to time. So thank you all for your beautiful comments, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another Fireside Chat. In the meantime, have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or if you're watching a recording of this, until we meet again. And as we're continuing, well, in this hemisphere, heading into the dark time, and of course, those of you in the summer, the southern hemisphere are heading into the summer. So wishing you all well and peace and serenity within, and may this peace just spread throughout the whole world. Anyway, Iwa, until we meet again. Slán go fóill.